Hi guys, how you all doing? Hope you're all keeping safe and well. Stay indoors, protect the medical services and save lives. That's the mantra of the moment, and quite right too, until we get through this dreaded COVID-19 coronavirus scenario. Anyway, whilst we're all at home, we're all trying to keep ourselves busy and trying to keep ourselves engaged and spending quite a bit of time, of course, on social media. Whilst you're at it, make sure you're following me, #BrownCarGuy. You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, of course also on browncarguy.com. And if you're on YouTube watching this, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And whilst you do that, make sure you hit that notification button as well, so that you get all of my videos as I upload them. So, of course, I'm spending a bit of time on social media, and I posed a question recently on my Facebook page, and the question was, money no object, name 3 dream cars that you would own for the rest of your life. Money no object, 3 dream cars for the rest of your life. Now, I have obviously got a lot of car people on my personal Facebook, so this made for some incredible and very interesting reading. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you the choices that people made, because some of these are amazing. So we'll start with Mohsin Ikram, who I recently had a Zoom chat with. Go back through my feed and you'll see he's an amazing personality. I call him Pakistan's Jay Leno because A, he looks like him, and B, he collects and restores classic cars. So obviously his lineup was very particular, very precise, but he couldn't make do with one lifetime. He had to have 3 lifetimes, so he had 3 sets. And I'm going to give you all 3 sets because they're quite amazing. But he broke the rules a little bit, but I'll give him that because he's such a fantastic guy. So here we go. Set number 1: Alfa Romeo 8C 2900B. Wow. Aston Martin DBR1. And a Ferrari 250 GT short wheelbase. Set number 2: Mercedes SSKL 1929. What an elegant machine. And this next one, what a magnificent beast. The Bentley Speed 6 Blue Train from 1930. That's a very imposing car, that is. To contrast that, a Jaguar E-Type, lightweight. Interesting. Or set number 3, a Delegue D8 120 Roadster 1938, a Bugatti Type 57 SC Atlantique. I think that's the most expensive car in the world, isn't it? I did say money no object though, to be fair. And another very expensive car, the Ferrari 250 GTO, this time a 1963 model. I hope your dreams come true, Mohsin. They are very expensive dreams, but very cool. Chetan Balsara. So he said, Bentley Continental GT, makes sense, one of my favorite cars, that new one especially. Mercedes G-Wagon Maybach edition. Is that the one with the 6 wheels on the back that goes down? That's a heck of a thing. And a Bugatti Chiron. So a very German lineup there. But there you go. That's very cool. Salim Kamali, who is the boss of Case Productions, which we did some videos with back in the day, and they do a lot of stuff with Red Bull. He's a bit of an action man himself, because he once did the Camel Trophy when it was a proper Camel Trophy in Range Rovers. But he hasn't gone for any Range Rovers, but he has gone for British cars. He wants an Aston Martin DB5 and an Aston Martin DB6, because that must be really different to the DB5. And then the third choice, another Aston Martin. Definitely James Bond syndrome going on there. But he did come back and say, okay, I might have to swap one for an E-Type. Why? Because the E-Type's more reliable? Stick with the Astons. Georgia Lewis, a good journalist friend of mine, editor and journalist. Citroen DS, she says, very nice. Yeah, I'm with her on that one. Pretty much any Mercedes SL apart from a few in the 80s. I quite like the 80s ones. And my old Pajero. What? To be fair to her, she says, I've had many cars over the years, but I've never loved a car like I love the mighty Pajero. I actually cried when I handed the keys over and I sold that car. Oh gosh. Well, you develop relationships with cars. That's what makes us car people. And that's why we are so passionate about what we do. And it doesn't matter what the car is, it's about the time that you spend with it and the relationship you develop with it. Hey, cars are like pets. Kamui Matani, a mate of mine who's now in Japan, and he says Honda S2000. Nice Roadster, an Audi RS4 Avant B7, and a Chevy Chevelle SS 1970. That's a really cool lineup, because you've got a cool sports car, Roadster, you've got a practical-ish family thing, and then you've got a really cool bit of muscle there. That's really good. I like that. Simon Maurice, very nice lineup. Ferrari 250 LM, a BMW M1, and a Dower Porsche 962 LM. All of them, in theory, at least road cars, he says. Well, the M1 definitely. I'm not so sure about the other two, but hey, why not? I'm sure you could get them registered. Muhammad Adnan, Toyota 2000 GT, Honda NSX, not just any NSX, but the NSX-R NA2, and Nissan Skyline GTR R34, but not just any R34, the Mines Edition. Very particular, JDM heaven right there. Noman Farouk, check him out at Automotive Affairs. I think I should be talking to him soon. That'd be fun. Stay tuned for that one. Make sure you hit that notification button. And he chose a Callaway C12 Coupe. It's based on the Corvette, of course. And he chose some other cars, but hang on, his posts got mixed up. And then he said the Alfa Romeo TZ3 Stradale by Zagato. Now there was a TZ3 Corsa that was a one of one. I think it was like a concept or one of one made for an individual client. That was based on an Alfa Romeo 8C. But the TZ3 Stradale, they actually made 9 of those, and they were based, believe it or not, on a Dodge Viper V10. Yeah, even the interior was pretty much a Viper, apart from they changed the badges. So that's incredible. So he said, well, that's a practical car because I can get it fixed anywhere in America and service. So that makes a lot of sense, I suppose, doesn't it? And his third option was the Bugatti EB10. Very nice. Michael Schumacher famously had one of those. Fraser Martin, Eagle E-Type Jaguar. Very cool. Expensive, but very cool. Very nice. Or the New Zealand built equivalent, he says. What's that? I might have to look it up, actually. An original Mini Traveller. That's cute. I like that. And Bentley Continental Flying Spur. Yeah, he's always been a Bentley guy. That's his dream. All of them in dark green, with ox blood leather. Very specific. He's trimmed them up as well already. So there you go. Moving on to Hamza Osmani. He wants a McLaren P1. He wants a twin-turbo Huracan. So not just a regular Huracan, but twin-turbo. And an R34 GTR. Popular choice, that one. Phil Renhardt, R35 GTR. That's the newer one. Ferrari 458 Spider. Cool. And a Bugatti Chiron. Like it. Damien Reed, good friend and colleague, amazing car journalist. He wants a Singer 911. Yeah, very cool those. A Lamborghini Miura. I know he does like that. I'm with him on that one. And the McLaren F1, of course, legendary machine. Lee Stones, Bahrain, I think he's in Bahrain. Ether, I know he loves his BMW E30. We bonded over that. E30 M3, the Roberto Ragavaglia, that one. Z8 Alpina and a 1985 Nissan Bluebird 1.8 GL. Huh? I want to go, what? Bluebird? But you know what? I do like those 80s Bluebirds. And he said, if you've got 3 perfect cars, then you'll never appreciate them when you get them. So the Bluebird will give you perspective while it'll still give you loads of street cred. All right, I get that. I'll give him that one. My goodness, we have to plow through these. Rakesh Nair. I'm just going to skip out that middle name because I'm going to get it wrong. Rolls-Royce Phantom, Range Rover Vogue, and the Jeep Wrangler Rubicon. Yeah, I approve of those. But it's got 2 SUVs in there. So, yeah, anyway, it's his choice. I said, money no object, your choice, whatever you want. And Fred, I call him Fred. His name is Nasir Frederick Fadi. We all call him Fred. He is a very much a connoisseur of classic cars, and he arranges classic car events and stuff like that. So he knows these classics. So he said, 1939 Alfa Romeo 8C 2900B Le Mans. So yeah, that goes back to what Mosen wanted. A 1972 Di Tommaso Mangusta, very sexy car, that's nice. And a 1981 Lancia 037 Stradale, very cool indeed. So I like that. My school buddy, childhood school buddy, Hetan Patel, all the way from America, he chimed in with Ferrari Testarossa, Ferrari F40, and a Ferrari Enzo. It's a bit of a theme going on there. And he was like, yeah, no, got to be a Ferrari. He's got to have just all Ferraris. I suppose, you know, he can't wait for the Ferrari SUV because then he can have a full family set as well. That would make sense, wouldn't it? Good buddy of mine, John Steens, who used to be dealing with Caterham Cars, Morgan Cars in Dubai, and now runs the 9th Degree Club, I think it is, in Dubai. And he says, Ferrari F40 again, so another F40 there. The Ford Escort Cosworth, yeah, approve of that. Check out my recent best Fords ever feature on Drive Tribe, and Ford Escort is in there. And the Brabus 6x6 G-Class, that's a big old beast of a thing. Wow, this came from a guy that used to sell Caterhams and Morgans. I suppose the F40 is kind of lightweight, yeah, so all right, I'll give him that. That's pretty cool. Nitish Ramanujam Probably pronounced that wrong. Anyway, he's a good buddy of mine. He used to work on Performance magazine in Dubai, back in India now. And he says Lamborghini Countach 5000 Quattrovalve QV, the Singer 911, so yeah, another good one there. The ABT RS6 Audi Avant, so that's like the tuned Audi version. So that's pretty cool lineup. That is very cool, especially the Countach. You can't go wrong with that, can you? Himadri Gautam, who used to be my director on the Autocrats. If you've seen the TV series, the car review TV series that I did in 2018 in Dubai, that was aired widely across the Middle East region on the Fox network. I think it's still running, actually. I'm still getting people sending me images and screen grabs of them seeing me on TV doing those reviews. Thanks for the wonderful feedback, guys. Always appreciated. Anyway, so he actually used to, he basically used to put that program together. And so his choices, the Lamborghini Aventador, the Ferrari F8 Spider, that's the latest one, and the Bugatti Veyron Supersport. So yeah, he's not angry. He's a man in a hurry. That's some really fast metal there. I guess the F8 Spider is his runabout, I suppose. But yeah, that's some really, really fancy Italian exotica all there. And a German bruiser as well. Nick England, amazing photographer, based back here in the UK now. Check him out. And he says Jaguar XJ6 Series 3. Aston Martin Vantage from the mid-80s. I like that. That's like the Timothy Dalton era Aston Martin in the Bond lineup, isn't it? And I think that's actually going to be in the next movie, isn't it? Which has been delayed now until November. And No Time to Die. I think it's going to be putting in an appearance in that as well. And the Lamborghini Miura. Yeah, very cool. Like it. And then he went and ruined it because for some reason he added a bonus choice. You were only allowed 3, but he added a bonus choice, and he ruined it because he said Allegro Abandon Pla. What? I think he kind of heard my reaction in his head, so he immediately came back again. He's okay, a Rover P6. I'll give him that one. Although why he's taking a bonus car, I don't know. But anyway, Ian Cox. Where is he? He's runs a karaoke session, runs quiz shows, and is a advanced driving instructor at the Autodrome, does events and stuff. Proper car encyclopedia, that guy. So his choices were always going to be interesting. And he went for a McLaren 600 LT. I just said his choices were going to be interesting. That's a bit obvious. McLaren 600 LT, a BMW M6 Grand Sport. Okay, right, and okay, a Group 4 Tarmac Fast Road Escort Mark II with Cosworth BDT. That's very specific, and that's more what I was expecting from him, rather than the other two. And then he does say the first two could change. Yeah, I think I get that. He probably have a different answer if I asked him now. Adil Jaldal Kanwala. So again, somebody I just recently did a Zoom video with. Check it out. Fantastic conversation. He's like a pioneer, one of the top Indian motoring journalists, an absolute pioneer in his field. So it would be very interesting to see what he says. He says a Ford GT40. I'm guessing that he means the original Ford GT40. So that's very cool. I sat in one of those recently. It was like a dream come true. Brilliant. An Hispano Suiza J12. Whoa. Let's look that one up. And the first generation Mercedes G-Wagon. Again, that's the first gen. I mean, that actually, you know what? Cred for that. That is respect. The first gen, because everybody's going to G63, 6x6, where he's like, no, I want the first gen one. That makes sense, actually. That's quite cool. Felipe Der, I don't know if I should pronounce the last name. I'm going to get this really, really wrong. Felipe Der Bagdasarian. Maybe I got that right. I don't know. Anyway, he says McLaren F1, Alfa Romeo 33 V8 Stradale. Ooh, interesting. And a 1967 Corvette Stingray. Ooh, I'm with him on that one. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Simon Atkinson. Yeah, great guy from now. He's where is he now? He's not. He used to be in Dubai, but they've moved back to Europe now. And he wants a 1960 Aston Martin DB4 Zagato, a 1972 Porsche 911 Carrera RS. Very cool. Those two are very cool. 60 to 760. And that Zagato, that's such a sexy Aston Martin. And that 911, that's a proper 911. And then he ruins it all because he wants a 2020 Land Rover Defender. Short wheelbase, full spec. Okay. To be fair, I haven't driven the new Defender, so benefit of the doubt. Okay, and now we move to Johnny Lieberman. Yeah, the Johnny Lieberman, the motoring journalist from America, famously on Motortrend, does the head-to-head in all of those. Yeah, one of the top motoring journalists in America. And so he came back, so his choices were always going to be interesting. And he wanted an Icon FJ45. That's mega cool. Those are so beautifully produced. They're like a classic Toyota FJ Land Cruiser, and then redone. Beautiful. A Canopy 959 SC, so Porsche 959, but modified. Wow, that's interesting. I like that. Those are really good choices. And then he says Bugatti Vitesse. I was like, what? Bugatti? I went, meh. And then he went, meh. So I think he might have, I did say he was friends with me on Facebook. I think he might have unfriended me now because I've just questioned. So one of America's top motoring journalists, and I've just questioned his choice of cars. But there you go. I'll try and find out more about that at some point in the future. Stay tuned, hit that subscribe and notification button. Alistair Crichton from Dubai, he says Citroen DS decapotable. I got that wrong, didn't I? Decapotable. Decapotable. It's basically, that was the first ever powered convertible. The first ever. You'd think that maybe Cadillac would come out with the first powered convertible. No, it was actually that one. DB4 Zagato, again, very good choice, very sexy Aston Martin. And his own Defender V8. Fair enough. You know, if you love your car, you love your car. So why not? Shiraz Sadiq, Pagani Zonda F Roadster. Nice. That's a good one. I wondered who would choose a Zonda. That's really cool. Brabus B900, nice, and a B63 6x6. Oh my goodness! Wow, that 6x6 is featuring more often than I thought it would. Anyway, fantastic photographer Khalid Termanini, which I did quite a bit of work on Car Magazine in Dubai, ITP back in the day, and he says original 427 Shelby Cobra. I did say money no object, and that's going to cost a lot, but yeah, that's a heck of a machine to have. A 2007, very specific Honda S2000. I think he had one, didn't he? That's why. And a Mustang Mark 1. Very nice. That's a cool lineup. I like that. Very good. Mosh Lafuente, another photographer that I did a lot of work with on Car Magazine. I've been posting his pictures a lot recently on my Instagram feed. Check them out. He says Mustang 65 Shelby. Very nice. I like it. Raptor. I guess he means the Ford F-150 Raptor. And the latest Land Rover Defender. So another one for the new Defender. Whoa. I must be missing something here, but yeah, people are liking that car, huh? But I like the Shelby choice, 65 Shelby, very cool. Susan Castle, wife of good journalist friend of mine, Jonathan Castle in Dubai, she says, any Maserati, any Bentley, and a Fiat 500. That's fair enough. That is absolutely fair enough. You know, Maserati, I'd recommend the Gran Turismo. Bentley, I'd recommend the Condens GT, the new one. Very good. And the Fiat 500, there's a new electric one coming. That'll make sense. Go for that one. Daniel Sykes, who is a medical worker in America. So big shout out and respect to him. He's on the front line at the moment, trying to save lives. So mega respect. I can't believe he even found the time to go through this and respond. But he's a big car guy. He's involved, I think, in Lemon's car racing in America, where they take bangers and they run them for 24 hours and stuff like that. Very cool guy. And he says simply F40. Now, he's broken the rules, but you know what? He can't break the rules. And you know what? That's a damn good car. So there you go. Isaac Bouchard, a good buddy of mine in America. He's a journalist and car dealer. And he says Singer Porsche, so another one for a Singer. Icon FJ, another one for the Icon. I think it's big in America, those cars, but they are beautiful. And Eagle Jaguar. These are Eagle E-Type. These are very cool choices. I like that. Barket Termizi, sorry for mispronouncing your surname. Good friend of mine online, been following my stuff for a long time. Big Lamborghini fan, so no surprise. 1975 Lamborghini Countach for thrill. 1989 BMW M5 for family fun. And the 2020 Toyota Camry Hybrid for real life usage. Hybrid? Okay, never mind. I'll give you that one. Moving on to Mustafa Ajane. I'm really sorry for mispronouncing people's names there. But anyway, so he says Audi R8, 911 Turbo, and a Lancer Evo. Yeah, I like it. I wonder when one of the Lancers, or even nobody's mentioned the WRX yet, but I wonder when these would come up. But yeah, so that's pretty cool. I like that. Guy Jakey, Used to former colleague of mine on Used Car Buyer magazine back in the day. Fantastic guy, and I know he's a big Defender guy, so no surprises that he has in fact mentioned the Defender, but very specific. He wants the Land Rover Defender Spectre Edition. Maybe swap the diesel out for a V8. Yeah, definitely swap the diesel out for a V8. In fact, probably the movie cars all did have V8s in them, because that's what they tend to do on the movie cars. And usually they do what you should probably do. You'll hate me for saying this probably, but stick the LS motor in. Yeah, stick the LS lump, and you can stick that into anything and it's solid and reliable. The other two he mentioned, Jaguar XK150. Green with tan leather. He's very specific. And the Porsche 911 GT3 997 in white. Very cool. Very good choices. Mohammed Arsalan Bela. He wants the Rolls-Royce Phantom Drophead. That's the way. I've always said about that car. That is, if you're going to go convertible and if you're going to go luxury car, that's the way. It's the ultimate in decadence, that car. Magnificent beast. And then he goes Land Cruiser Expedition Ready. So he wants something practical that you can go off into the desert with and stuff like that. He's based in Pakistan, so probably he wants to head out into the Rajasthan desert or something in that thing, so that makes sense. And then he wants Ferrari 458 Italia. So yeah, that makes sense. That's a beautiful car. That is a gorgeous thing. Probably one of the prettiest of the modern Ferraris. Mark Chuck Monticello. I just call him Mark. Journalist, KTM dealer, I think he's a diving instructor as well, multi-talented guy, well into his cars, and he did say this is a tough one, but he came up with 3 fantastic choices, all American. We've got a 1969 Mustang Mach 1, very cool, Shelby Cobra, kit car, he says. So unlike the previous guy that said the original, he says kit car so I can beat on it. That's fair enough. You know, this is the thing, isn't it? Because you buy an expensive original classic car and you just have to cherish it and look after it, right? Because you can't really drive the wheels off it because it's just too valuable. So get the kit car and you can just beat the crap out of it. That makes perfect sense. I'd do that. And the latest GT350R Shelby Mustang, of course. But you know what? Why not the 500? I go for the GT500. Apparently they're bargaining in Dubai right now. Watch my previous Zoom conversation with Imtishan, where he reveals a very interesting thing about GT500s in Dubai right now. You better go watch that if you're interested in buying one. So yeah, American muscle all the way. Jonathan Castle, remember his wife was mentioned earlier. Now he's come in. He's just motorbikes. He's just broken the rules completely. But you know what? I'll give him that. He wants a Ducati 900 SD, Yamaha XT500, and a matchless 3.5 Tourer. I don't know if I got that right. I don't know anything about bikes. So, yeah, there you go. That's his choices. Tom Conway Gordon, good buddy of mine, PR master, guru, expert, formerly in Dubai, back here now in the UK. And yeah, he likes a bit of muscle as well because he's got 69 Chevrolet Camaro. Nice. I'm assuming that's an SS, Tom. The Wiseman Roadster. Interesting. The one with the gecko logo. Very nice. And the Land Rover Defender 90. So he's gone for the classic Defender. Yeah. Okay. Give him that. Again, swap the V8. Swap the diesel out for a V8. Jeff Bailey. Again, I used to do a lot of work with him back in the day on Used Car Buyer magazine. So journalist, wheeler dealer, all kinds of stuff. And I know he's always been into Aston Martins. And in fact, he's, again, broken the rule and he's chosen just one car. The Aston Martin DBS Superleggera Volante. You know what? And I drove that not so long ago. I reviewed it actually in Dubai. And it was fantastic. I got to admit, that was fantastic. So he's gone for that. Give it to him. And of course, has to be British Racing Green. It's very specific. Has to be British Racing Green. Right, and last but not least, Partha, good buddy of mine based in India now, formerly in Dubai, really good when it comes to online marketing, SEO, stuff like that. I think he's running sessions at the moment. Look him up. I'll try to put a link below or just look for him on my feed or whatever, you'll find him. And he has come back with his choices. Range Rover Sport SVR, yeah, I like it. Drove that at Range Rover's own test track here a couple of years ago. What a beast of a thing. Porsche 911 GT3 RS, very nice. Yeah, very cool. And, oh dear, a Tesla Model S. Oh, okay. he's a techie guy, so you know what? I think techie guys particularly are into Teslas, so I'll give him that. I'll give him that. Although I wouldn't touch it with a barge pole. But anyway, I said to him, cool cars apart from the Tesla, obviously. He said, look, it's my garage, it's my rules. It's fair enough. That's absolutely correct. It is. That was how it went. So there you go. Those are. What an incredible lineup of cars. What an incredible journey we've taken through some incredibly desirable and dream-worthy, drool-worthy exotica. Now you're wondering, what about my choices? Well, you've actually been looking at them the whole time you've been watching this video. Yes, the Renault Formula One car and the Starship Enterprise. No, don't be silly. But you have, yeah. So you've got, obviously, the Lotus Esprit. And I would have it in this original form, either in S1, S2, or S3. Ideally S1 or maybe S3. If I'm going to go for an S3, then I'd want the Turbo 8C model. But original. So that would be my classic keeper, something I just look at and cherish. Then you see the 1968 Ford Mustang GT390. This is the Bullet car, and the fastback, of course. Now with this car, of course, there's only one original, and it just sold for $1 bazillion. And my needs are not that ostentatious. They're not that exuberant or well, expensive, I should say. Perhaps exuberant, but not expensive. So I'm not talking about the original. What I would probably have is I would get the body shell. I'd make it look like the Bullet Mustang, but I'd resto mod it. So put in a modern engine, modern gearbox, modern suspension, uprated brakes, and modern electronics. So, and that could be my daily beater. That's what I would do. I would use that as a daily beater. And for my third choice, I was going family car. I'm a family guy, so I need a family car. SUV is probably the way to go these days. So I was very much going towards Range Rover. And in Range Rover, I was a Big Daddy Range Rover. Range Rover Sport. I used to like the Range Rover Big Daddy over the Range Rover Sport, but then I fell in love with the current Range Rover Sport more than the Big Daddy, so I would have gone that way. And then I drove the Range Rover Velar a couple of years back, and I absolutely fell for that. I thought it's the best looking Range Rover ever, so I was going to go for that. And then something occurred to me, like these two cars, they're classics, and even the resto mod. So the idea is that, you know, they're ageless, they're timeless. You get a modern car, then when the new one comes out, that one's already old. But there is a modern car that never actually gets old, because every new one looks exactly the same as the previous one. You've been looking at it on my screen right there, and that's the Jeep Wrangler JL. So I'd get that because I think it's fantastic. It's very flexible, in that it's the four-door especially. It's reasonably spacious, reasonably comfortable. They've made it actually much more comfortable than ever, the latest car. It's got all your mod cons, got everything you need in it. You can take the roof off, you can take the doors off, you can take everything off the car if you want to. It will literally go anywhere and do anything, and it will never age, because they always look like that. So yeah, that's my three choices. Again, you know, not very expensive, but you know, I could do other stuff with the money. So there you go. I hope you've enjoyed this extended BCG daily video. I had to do justice to all of the amazing choices that people took the time and effort and energy to put onto that post. So there you go. Hope you liked that video. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit the notification button. Make sure you follow me, #BrownCarGuy, on all of the social media channels. Would love to hear from you, and see you again soon.